Straight ahead on CCX News, vandals hit a Brooklyn Park water tank.
The public can be sure that we're doing everything we can to keep it safe.
What the city is doing to make sure your water is safe to drink. Plus, we meet a Maple Grove student well on his way to becoming a physician with good bedside manner.
It's not only about curing the disease, it's about curing the person behind it.
And later, a Crystal street corner turns into an Italian restaurant one night a week. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Those stories in just a moment, but first, new information on Wednesday morning's officer-involved shooting in Crystal.
The case involved a man shot by police at Bassett Creek Park after police say he refused to drop a weapon. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is leading the investigation, says that man is 18-year-old Khalil Thompson. The mother tells the Star Tribune Crystal police were familiar with her son and knew that he was mentally ill. The Crystal police chief says the officers believed they were in imminent danger. And according to a preliminary investigation by the BCA, Thompson pointed a weapon at the officers. The BCA released the names of the officers who fired their weapons are identified as Mason Barland, Brian Elfstrom, Kathleen Gomez, and Zheng Vang. Their experience with the department ranges from 3 months to 20 years. According to the BCA, Officer Barland fired non-lethal rounds first. When Thompson continued to point his weapon, the BCA says the officers discharged their firearms. BCA agents determined Thompson was holding a black handgun-style airsoft BB gun with a black-tipped barrel. The report says officers were not wearing body cameras, but investigators are reviewing squad dashcam video of the incident. Meanwhile, Thompson is undergoing multiple surgeries at North Memorial Health Hospital in Robbinsdale. The mother tells the Star Tribune her son was struck twice, including a bullet that struck her son's brain. A security breach has caused Brooklyn Park a big headache.
Vandals gained access to a city water reservoir, initially causing concern about the safety of the water. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains.
It's a very serious subject when we talk about the public water supply.
You can't see the water reservoir from Boone Avenue in Brooklyn Park, but it's there, holding 2 million gallons of water on a hill just off a paved trail. The privacy likely gave vandals plenty of time last week to break the lock on the gate, spray paint something on the top of the tank, and then break open a lock leading down to the water.
We don't think anything was thrown into the tank, like a rock or the locks that were broken or anything, but we want to drain it, make sure that we can rest assured, and then we'll re-disinfect the tank, fill it up, and have it ready to go as normal.
The city says the vandalism could have just been done by kids, but nowadays, anytime there's tampering with a public water supply, it's taken very seriously.
Even though it might have been kids, we don't know what it was. We have to treat it as if it could have been the worst case scenario of someone wanting to tamper with things.
That means the water has undergone a series of tests from the Minnesota Department of Health. Everything came back clear.
The water is safe, and we've been drinking it as staff, and you can drink it as the public, and rest assured it's safe and will continue to be safe.
Altogether, an obnoxious case of vandalism that cost the city $5,000.
It's a small cost to pay to make sure that the water's safe and that the public can be sure that we're doing everything we can to keep it safe.
In Brooklyn Park, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Security patrols have been increased at this reservoir and at other tanks around the city.
A school bus driver was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs after dropping off kids at a school in New Hope. We're not naming the driver because she has not been charged, but a 911 call alerted police of a school bus driving erratically on Highway 169 at Bass Lake Road. Troopers eventually found the bus headed west on I-394 at Hopkins Crossroad and then stopped it after seeing the bus swerve onto the shoulder. Children were dropped off at North Education Center in New Hope. The bus driver, an employee of Golden Valley-based Mainline Transportation, has been released from custody pending charges.
You could have a chance to help decide whether Osseo schools should expand or make other changes involving enrollment and building capacity. In the next several years, an advisory committee will review options such as whether to build a school or add on to an existing school or possibly do nothing.
As I understand the work that's happening in Wayzata and Anoka Hennepin, they're at a different place in the work that they're doing. What we are trying to create is a long-range framework, a long-range understanding of how we go about making decisions. So it's about the process and involving folks along the way.
The district is looking for people interested in being part of the committee. Anyone interested has until Friday to apply.
A big boom in commercial growth is underway along Highway 610 in Brooklyn Park, but there are no hotels along there for business travelers. And that's about to change. This is a live look at a groundbreaking ceremony where the Hilton Company will be building 2 hotels. One is a Hampton Inn, the other is a Home 2 Suites. They'll both be 4 stories tall with a total of 207 rooms. They are the first new hotels to open in Brooklyn Park since 1998. The $30 million project is expected to create 60 permanent jobs, and the hotels are expected to open next spring. Still ahead, well, as the school year wraps up, though, we shine the spotlight on our final standout student.
That's right. He is a Maple Grove senior, and he's well on his way to becoming a doctor.
You know, this is happening at early ages, and it's out there. It's happening.
There's a future physician sitting in this Maple Grove High School health class.
And once again, how important it is.
Senior Rajiv Dharnipragada has already been accepted into medical school at the University of Minnesota. More on that later.
So that's first things first.
But this 18-year-old started taking math classes at the university as a kid.
I have a really strong relationship with the U. And it started in 5th grade. I started in Algebra 1 and then finished in 10th grade in Calculus 3.
It's impressive. Rajiv graduated in 10th grade from the U's Accelerated Youth Mathematics program. And he's been doing research projects in plant biology, oncology, and neuroscience at the university ever since. But being gifted in math and science isn't the only thing you need to know about Rajiv.
He's just a very compassionate, and it's not, you don't always see that combination with somebody who's so gifted academically and driven to go into medicine, but also has, you just know they're going to have great bedside manner and good with people.
In a clinical setting, I would say that the communication skills and the doctor-patient interaction is just as important as the science.
Rajiv understands the importance of humanities in medicine. He's learned it in part by watching his parents.
My mom's an Indian classical dance teacher, and just watching her being able to influence so many lives with arts is amazing.
Now back to medical school. Rajiv is one of just 10 students accepted into a new accelerated 7-year program at the University of Minnesota. It will result in undergrad and medical school degrees. Increasing the odds this future doctor might one day treat you and me.
I give the U of M credit for trying to keep these high-achieving students because he was accepted to many other programs and could have left us. So I'm so glad he's staying in our state. Still ahead, a Crystal resident's interesting way of protecting her vegetable garden.
Plus, Totino-Grace faces a tough test in the section softball playoffs.
But first, staying relatively nice, 70s and peaks of sunshine on Friday. We'll be right back.
What can be done to protect your vegetable garden from destructive critters?
Good question. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden with a Crystal resident who has some interesting ideas.
About a month ago, I came out, I tilled all the soil.
Libby Blythe is in the process of planting her raised garden beds.
I have sugar snap peas and a couple types of bean, bush beans and pole beans on the right side down there.
The huge yard and garden space was a selling point when she purchased the home last year.
We have onions, 3 kinds of lettuce.
She uses string on each side of the garden beds to keep plants organized.
3 rows of carrots and 2 rows of spinach because we really like spinach.
Our recent rains helped the plants to flourish.
Every time it rains, they sort of triple in size. So it saved me watering, which is really good because I have not brought the hoses out yet because I'm lazy.
Libby fashioned this cucumber fence with garden twine and bamboo.
I'm hoping to grow them vertically instead of on the ground so that we get more yield of cucumbers and they don't get rot on the bottom.
Plastic toys protect the garden from critters.
The snakes keep the squirrels and the birds away from the seedlings, and they're working so far because the squirrels are very hungry. Keep the neighbors away too. No.
But Libby's not sure the snakes will work on this guy.
Oh my gosh! Are turkeys afraid of snakes? I hope they're afraid of snakes.
In Crystal, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Up next, a restaurant in Crystal that literally popped up into popularity.
But first, a close game between Cooper and Hopkins in the opening round of baseball playoffs. John Jacobson is next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Section play started Wednesday for baseball teams in Section 6-4A. They played their first round games, including 7th-seeded Cooper, hoping to upseed 2nd seed Hopkins. Scoreless in the top of the 5th, 2 outs. Runner on 3rd. Cooper's landed to Cambry with a fly ball to right that eludes the outfielder. Peyton Primmer scores for a 1-0 lead on the triple by Del Cambry. Top of the 6th, Hawks get another clutch 2-out hit. Zach Thomas singles to plate Blake Pena, and it's 2-0 Cooper. Hopkins cuts the lead in the half in the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Chiroboga's ground ball gets through, scoring Wyatt Nelson. Then in the bottom of the 7th, mistakes doom Cooper. A wild pitch brings home Matt Shaw. That's when tie the score at 2. Joey Swanson then lays down a bunt. And the throw to first is wild, allowing Luke Polyak to trot home with a winning run, and the Royals take it 3-2. Cooper's district rival Armstrong didn't have nearly as close of a game. The Falcons hosting Minneapolis Southwest in New Hope with this one. In the bottom of the 1st, Armstrong's Dawson D drives it the opposite way down the right field line. D's triple scores Preston Reed. And it's 1-0 after 1. And the Falcons break it open in the 3rd. Eric Goldman drops a hit into right field to score Jarek Kuznia. And it's 3-0 Armstrong. Southwest gets a bad break. Mike O'Malley's bouncer takes a wicket hop off the shortstop. 2-run score on the play as the wheels come off for the Lakers. Nate Pertola drops a check swing blooper into short left to score 2 more runs. The Falcons score 8 in the 2nd inning, 7 more in the 3rd on the way to an 18-5 5-inning win. Also in Section 6, top seed Wayzata blasts Minneapolis South 18-0 in 2nd round games Friday. It's Washburn at Wayzata while Armstrong plays Hopkins at Big Willow. Cooper meets Southwest in an elimination game. Play starts Friday in Section 5-4A. Top seed Champlin Park meets Spring Lake Park. Park Center plays Moundsview, and Totino-Grace takes on Coon Rapids. All of those games are at Wintercrest Park in Coon Rapids. The Totino-Grace softball team came within a game of reaching the state Class 3A tournament a year ago. The Eagles are the top seed in Section 4 this year, and they face defending section champion Mahtomedi in the 2nd round of the tournament. No score through 2, but in the top of the 3rd, Mahtomedi's Grace Hadlich, soft liner into short right field. Lindsey Sommerfeld and Callista Magali score, and it's 2-0 Mahtomedi. Totino-Grace answers in the bottom of the 3rd. Aaron Pepping drives the ball over the center fielder's head into the fence. Lexi Radicic scores, and it's a 2-1 game. With a runner on 3rd, Maddie Brunn hits a liner off the pitcher's glove into the second baseman Hadlich's glove. She throws the 3rd, doubles off the runner, and it stays 2-1. 4th inning, the Zephyrs catcher tries to throw behind the Grace runner Paige Berg here on this play, but the throw sails into the outfield. Berg comes in to score, and it's a 2-2 game. Bottom of the 5th, same score. Brunn comes up with a huge hit just inside the bag at 3rd. Lauren Shenneman and Pepping both score. Those are the winning runs. Totino-Grace beats Mahtomedi 4-2. The Eagles face St. Anthony in the next round on Friday. Section play gets underway next week in golf. Several local conference tournaments were played this week. At the Lake Conference Tournament in Jordan, the Wayzata boys, the best of the 5-team league, but not by much. Just 7 strokes separate the top 4 teams. Matt Armstrong won medalist honors for Eden Prairie. Ben Frassini had Wayzata's low score with a 71. On the girls' side, Edina wins the Lake Conference Tournament after going unbeaten during the regular season. The Hornets were nearly 40 shots ahead of runner-up Minnetonka. Wayzata and Hopkins finished 4th and 5th, respectively. Edina's Grace Keller shot a 72 to win medalist honors. Coming up Friday on CCX Sports, our first Terry Tuma fishing tip of the season as he looks ahead to this weekend's bass opener. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. A night out at a new pop-up restaurant could be as close to Italy as you can get right here at home.
Reporter Shannon Slatton gives you a taste of what's cooking on the border of Crystal and Robbinsdale.
Oh, everything they did was homemade, organic, from the old country, traditions.
On Wednesday nights, the corner of 36th and Noble transforms into an Italian piazza with dining al fresco, wood-fired pizza, and fresh Italian food.
The meatball pizza is really good. I could see that the tomatoes are just mashed up instead of they used like processed tomato sauce because like it was ruby red.
Food is fabulous. We love it. We love the experience of eating out here in the outdoors.
For the past 5 weeks, Anna Donato Gani has opened up a pop-up restaurant outside of her floral shop and catering company.
People kept saying to us, well, we love that you cater, but we would love to come and get a pizza or lasagna or your spaghetti and meatballs.
So there's a limited amount made each Wednesday. And even though Anna hasn't spent a dime on advertising, people have found the food.
I think we've been to everyone since it opened.
So we do family meals, the spaghetti and meatball family meals, and of course individual. So we make our homemade meatballs. We have the meatball gigante, which is the big, huge meatball. We only make 15 of them a night. When they're gone, they're gone.
For the rest of the summer, check Facebook and check the forecast. If the weather is nice, Anna will be serving up food on the pop-up piazza.
I mean, we love doing this. We love people.
In Crystal, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Up next, 40 years and still going strong.
The Force is still with Star Wars. We'll show you how the hot collectibles, rather, at a New Hope store when we come back. Years ago today, the first Star Wars movie opened in theaters not too far away.
At Hot Comics and Collectibles in New Hope, the shelves are stocked with items celebrating 40 years of the Star Wars brand. Die-hard Star Wars fans make up more than half of their clientele, and even though the franchise dates back to 1977, it's still going strong.
I was a little concerned, as most people were, when Disney took over the franchise, but I think they have proved all of us skeptics wrong. They're telling great new Star Wars stories, and we're going to have great Star Wars stories to come for generations.
Vintage Star Wars toys are some of the store's best sellers, and employees say if you have any, they are willing to, any that you're willing to sell, they are willing to buy. I don't think anybody expected in 1977 that it would be such a big thing.
As it is now,
amazing.
That's right.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again on Friday, starting at 4 o'clock.